y'all? I ain't tryna run around and cause no problems, but don't get that shit that twisted. Take my kindness for weakness, that shit right there, I just don't insist it. I got hands for days, and when that right hand lands, it's like a hand grenade, hit you right in the chin. What's up everybody, and welcome to my new tutorial, a what to do and what not to do while trying to make bars with double meaning. A lot of people do this and they fail. The first thing that they do is they try to use homophones. The definition is each of two or more words having the same pronunciation but different meanings. A couple of examples are ant and ant, blue and the color blue, cell, like a cell, a brain cell or a cell phone, and you sell something. Okay, these are examples of homophones. Now when people try to use these, they mess up in their punchlines because they use these homophones but they don't give them two meanings. When you use these homophones, they need to have ambiguity, and what ambiguity means is more than one meaning. If your punchline consists of homophones but there is no ambiguity, then your punchline is a fail. I've got a couple of punchlines already found on the internet where two opponents are using homophones in an incorrect manner because there's no ambiguity. Okay, so here is a battle between class versus middle finger, and middle finger is the one who's dropping his verse, and it's against class. I'm gonna go ahead and take this over to Notepad so we can get a better analyzation of it. And what he says is, shots from all angles, lyrically sniping you. Feel the rain of bullets, it'll be bad and gory. Cause class, if I get the shooting, there'll be no way to arrange you into a category. Okay, so what he's saying is, he's calling him class by his name. Cause class, if I get the shooting, there'll be no way to arrange you into a category. Also, he's trying to arrange you into a category. He's trying to associate with the homophone here, which would be classify. So the homophones in this case using nameplay is classify, and then the actual word classify. And this associates with arrange you into a category. Classify, you classify something, you can arrange it into a category. But when you say it in the second degree, there is no second meaning. It doesn't make sense. Because classify, get the shooting, there'll be no way to arrange you into a category. It makes no sense that way. It makes sense when you say, because classify, and you call him by his name, but it does not make sense in the second degree. So this bar here has homophones, yes, but has no ambiguity. There's only one meaning, so that's a failed attempt at a great punchline. And in the same battle, class does the same thing to him. He, in his fourth bar here, tries to use homophones, and he does it without using ambiguity. We'll take a look at class's bar towards middle finger. This lame's from New Jersey, a small clone who can't spit slick. This mini-me cries about his little wins, but y'all know how mid gets. Okay, so dude's name was Middle Finger that he was battling, so he's calling him mid. And he's saying, y'all know how mid gets, and this is going to be the homophone. The homophones would be the nameplay. He's using this word mid. Y'all know how mid gets, and midgets. So these two are the same pronunciation but different meanings, so this is considered homophones. But there's no ambiguity within this bar because it makes sense the first way he says it. This mini-me cries about his little wins, but y'all know how mid gets. But when you say it with the second part of the homophone, this is what you get. This mini-me cries about his little wins, but y'all know how midgets. See, it's an incomplete bar. It's y'all know how midgets do, or y'all know how midgets are, or y'all know how midgets get. It just this is an incomplete bar. It does not make sense. So this is, even though he went to the degree of associating keywords, little wins, mini-me, midgets. The second meaning does not make sense, therefore there is no ambiguity within this bar. Those two that I have just showed you are failed attempts at punchlines using homophones with ambiguity. Now, down at the bottom here, I have found a bar on the internet. This is Tony Mars versus Nuisance, and this is a correct way to use a homophone and with ambiguity. The guy's name is Noose. Tony Mars is going against Nuisance. He's calling him News. Okay, fuck a rematch. He'll always be the hardest of losers. If news gets around on me, someone's sparking a rumor. So when you say it in the first sense with his name, if news gets around on me, somebody's sparking a rumor. If he wins a round in the battle on Tony Mars, someone must be sparking a rumor, because that's not going to happen, is what Tony's saying. And then when you use the homophone, news, the actual word news, fuck a rematch. He'll always be the hardest of losers. If news gets around on me, someone's sparking a rumor. So somebody's talking that news around town, they're just talking shit. So that right there is how you could use homophones with ambiguity. Okay, so ambiguity is the key word here today. It's more than one meaning. When you try to use homophones, which is pretty clever when you can, it really makes a bar much more solid, but you lose all impact when there is no ambiguity. So make sure you use that and do it right.